All right, we continue our live team coverage with Channel 9's Ashlyn Webb. Ashlyn, you've been working to learn more about the suspect.
Yes, and we are now getting images of the suspect from his social media, but that Instagram account has been since shut down. We know that he was a student at FSU. Before that, he went to Lincoln High School in Tallahassee. We also know that Eichner was very close to the law enforcement community. His mother is Jessica Eichner, a veteran deputy with Leon County Sheriff's Office, who for several years was a school resource deputy. We are told that he used her old service weapon that she personally owned, authorities say, in that attack. 9 Investigates is also looking into Phoenix Eichner's time on the Leon County Sheriff's Youth Advisory Council. I just found he was selected to be on that council from 2021 to 2022. At that point, he was a junior at Lincoln High School in Tallahassee, and this council was in charge of advising the sheriff, reaching out to Leon County teens to connect with them about opportunities in the community, and also inform the agencies on issues impacting teens. This council required students to have good attendance records in school, so no unexcused absences, also a 2.0 GPA. He was just one of 8 students on this council for the sheriff's office. There are a lot of questions we have yet to answer about the suspect. We are working now to get in touch with those who knew him. Of course, we'll stay on top of this story, but for now, reporting in studio, Ashlyn Webb, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. The video clip that I just showed you, okay, is of a shooting that just happened earlier today in Florida at FSU. And you're probably a little confused about my title to this video, but there's a reason for it, okay? Now, you just seen the news talking about this guy who went to FSU. He's the son of a deputy, took one of his mom's weapons, went into the school, shot some people up, killed 2, others are injured, and it's already hitting the news media like there's no tomorrow, and it's going to get worse. Okay, they're gonna feed into this narrative like there's no tomorrow, and I want everybody to bear with me. I'm upset, not saying that this should not be on the news. What this guy did is totally wrong. Okay, totally wrong. I just want everybody to bear with me as I show you what I'm talking about pertaining to, like I said, the title of this video. After finding out that this happened, okay, a certain news clip came out. 2 news clips came out. One pertaining to this, one pertaining to something else that a lot of you may not have heard. And we're going to get to that. And the reason why I chose my title, and if anybody on the left watches my video and truly wants to understand what's going on the meaning of my video, you just have to watch what I have to say. If what I show you guys tonight does not show the racist bias, the race baiting bias from the mainstream media, I don't know what will or what else has to be done for people to understand that, especially when it comes to the left-leaning news media, they are a bunch of race-baiting hypocrites that don't care about people and innocent victims. Let's get to it. Here we go. Okay, now the first news clip that I showed you was put up by Channel 9 News. This is put up by CBS about an hour ago. Check this out.
Hello everyone, I'm Major Garrett in Washington. Right now in America decides a gunman opens fire on the campus of Florida State University in Tallahassee. Here is what we know. 2 people are dead. 6 have been wounded. Police say the deceased are not students of Florida State University. The 20-year-old shooter is believed to be a student, and he is in custody.
The question as it relates to who is the shooter is 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner, and he's the son of a Leon County Sheriff deputy. Unfortunately, her son had access to one of her weapons, and that was one of the weapons that was found at the scene.
We start tonight with Scott McFarland here in Washington and Anna Schechter in New York. Anna, let me start with you. That was an amazing disclosure at the press conference that the shooter is believed to be the son of a active duty Leon County Sheriff's deputy. What else do we know?
You're absolutely right. In fact, we were sitting here in the newsroom, and when we heard that, wow, not just that he's the son of a sheriff's deputy, but that he used a weapon that had been her service weapon. She was able to purchase that, so that was her personal handgun that he used in the shooting. We also learned that he had a long gun on his person. It's unclear at this stage in the investigation if he shot anyone with it. We learned that just moments ago. The 6 injured, we don't know if they are students or not. We're still waiting. They did not reveal the identities of any of the victims. 2 deceased who were not students. We're still waiting to hear more. One other thing that jumped out at me is the suspect, when he was apprehended by FSU police, he did not comply with the orders that they were giving him. He did not shoot at them, but he didn't comply. And at that point, that's when officers fired at him and shot him. He is injured. He is currently in the hospital right now. Major?
Scott McFarland, what do you have?
One of the things they noted is that the deputy is an SRO. They use the term SRO. That means school resource officer. Those are the law enforcement police officers or sheriff's deputies who work in the schools and are specifically detailed to make relationships with young people and, to a degree, in so many school systems, teach safe storage and safe handling of guns. It was that type of school resource officer whose son has been arrested. This is the first mass school shooting of the Trump administration, part 2, which means there are new leaders at the FBI and the new director, the new deputy director, the attorney general, all posted messages today that they've been briefed on this, that they're aware of this. The president was asked about this a short while ago, but before
Okay, now I'm going to stop it right there. Okay? You heard what he said. Granted, you heard what he said, that this is the first mass school shooting of the Trump administration. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready, because this is, and I pray to God not, but this is something where the media is going to run rampant on. And on many incidents like this, and it's all, in my opinion, not that it takes away from the victims, not that it takes away from the people perpetrating these crimes, what they've done and what they intended to do. That is something they need to be punished for. The victims need all the support, their families, their friends. I have zero tolerance for anything like this. Okay? But let's be fair, because right away I see where this is going. Okay? And I know you're probably all asking, oh, what is it? This and that, and what are you talking about? They haven't said nothing about race. Bear with me, people. Bear with me. Stick to what that man just said. This is the first mass school shooting in the Trump administration. Okay? And I'm telling you, give it time, because they're gonna feed on this, and then the gun control lobbyists are gonna come in, the race baiting lobbyists are gonna come in, and I say that for 2 specific reasons that I'm going to, actually 3, that I'm going to point out. Okay, so bear with me. You already heard what happened. Prayers to all the people that are involved. Pray to God that all this, it just has to stop. It doesn't matter who's doing it, but it just has to stop. But let's be fair. Because right away, we already know they're going to blame this on that kid's mother. We know this. We know it without a doubt. She should have put the gun away. He should have never had access. Let's get the mother in prison, whatever the case is. We know this, people. Okay? But then, just like that, for some odd reason, something else pops up, and I'm like, well, damn. Why, oh why, will the news jump on this? And they're going to jump on it even more, believe that, especially to take away, and I didn't want to make any stories on it, any videos on it, of the school stabbing that happened with the the two football players, the young white kid and the young black kid, okay? They're trying to take away from that because of all the hypocrisy around that. But now this pops up. I'll mention it again. This man comes out and says the first mass school shooting in the Trump administration. But I want to go back a year. Bear with me, people. Just bear with me. Okay, because all this is going to tie in. You guys know how I do my videos. He said this is the first mass shooting during the Trump administration. Let's go back 1 year. Okay, and then we're going to fast forward back to today and this week. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I say that the media loves to race bait. Here we go.
Information to sort through this afternoon involving this shooting. We can tell you one student was shot today. That student is expected to be okay, thankfully. The suspected shooter, another student, is in custody. No other injuries were reported there on campus. Now, we first got word of this just before 11 a.m. at Wilmer Hutchins High School in southeast Dallas. That's right at the intersection of I-20 and I-45. Let's take you out live over that school from our chopper right now. We have also learned that within the hour here that a teacher had helped to defuse that situation and potentially saved lives out there at that high school today. Senior crime and justice reporter Rebecca Lopez has been all over this today. She is out at the high school joining us live after listening in on a news conference this afternoon and getting critical information from her sources all day today. Rebecca, what are you able to tell us as we come on the air at this hour?
Well, Jason, this news conference basically confirmed what my sources told us early on, that this involved two students who possibly knew each other, and that one student was shot in the leg, as you mentioned, and another student, the shooter, ran off and was arrested shortly after the shooting. Now, we are told that this happened in an area of the school called Hall G Hall. They say the shooter and the victim had words, that's according to my sources, and then the suspect shot that student in the leg. The DISD superintendent says the teacher inside that classroom prevented further tragedy by getting the shooter out of the school. She called the teacher humble and brave. DISD Police Chief Albert Martinez says officers arrested the suspect shortly after the shooting in an area around the football field. They are still trying to determine the motive at this time. They will go through security videos and talk to witnesses to determine how that gun got into the school, which has metal detectors. By the way, that gun was found in the woods nearby, according to sources. Now, the school was shut down as officers secured the entrances and eventually reunited students with frightened parents.
I refuse to say that we will normalize these behaviors. I refuse. And I hope that everyone joins me, as everyone here who is supporting us at this time understands this can never become acceptable. We can and we must eradicate these types of situations.
There will be an after-action report to determine exactly how the system failed, how the security system failed here at the school. The shooter, who is 17 years old, is being questioned by police. The 17-year-old victim went to Baylor. Again, non-life-threatening injuries. No one else was injured, but as you can imagine, this was very frightening. Parents rushed here to this scene to see exactly how their students and their children were doing. And for more on reaction from parents, we go to my colleague, Kevin Reese. Kevin.
Okay, I'm gonna leave that at that. What you just seen was a school shooting in Texas last year, if I got the date right, April 24th of 2024. Okay. They talked about how did he get the gun into school. They're gonna try to figure out, this was last year, during Biden's regime. Nobody heard about it on the news. And I know, bear with me, everybody's saying, well, that happened last year. What's that got to do with the shooting that happened today in Florida? Bear with me. So, they're trying to find out how this all happened. What was the case? You heard one student shot another student. They try to figure out how he got the weapon in. It ended up being that somebody helped them in the school get the weapon. I'm going to minimize this. The reason why they didn't say nothing was because, there you go. That's the student right there. Okay? He's the one that bought, and it says it right here. Wilmer Hutchinson High School, a shooting suspect brought a .38 revolver. But the more of the information says that he was helped. That somebody helped them bring it into the school. Whatever the case is, that's neither here nor there. That happened. Okay? And I know what you're probably still going to be asking. Why are you talking about this when that happened in Dallas last year and this just happened, there was a shooting in Florida today? I'll tell you why. Let's get out of here and let's get to the next news story. Here we go.
Yes, Brandon, 17-year-old Tracy Haynes is being held here on a $600,000 bond after police say he shot several students inside a Southeast Dallas high school. According to an arrest affidavit, surveillance video matching these stills shows an unidentified student letting Haynes through an unsecured door. Investigators say Haynes began firing at students, approaching one student who wasn't able to run and appearing to take a point-blank shot. A few miles from the school, Milton Nieto unknowingly picked up Haynes, who claimed he had just been in a car wreck. He dropped the suspect off at a Red Oak gas station. It wasn't until hours later, when Nieto was watching Fox 4 News, that it all clicked and he called police.
There was a young man that looked like he was in distress. He's panicking, waving cars down. My heart just started beating 1,000,000 miles per hour.
Haynes turned himself into police with the help of the nonprofit organization Urban Specialist that works to curb gun violence and poverty. Organizers there say the suspect told them he didn't want to die or get killed, so he would turn himself in. When they asked why he opened fire in the hallway, Haynes allegedly said there were threats going back and forth on his life from others. Now, Dallas Fire Rescue confirmed 4 students were injured. 2 are still recovering in the hospital, and we're expecting to learn more from the district this morning. Reporting live in Dallas, Peyton May for a Good Day.
Okay, so there you have it. This past Tuesday, in that same school in Dallas, there was another shooting. A 17-year-old black kid went on a mass shooting spree, walked into the school, he was let into the school, somebody let him into the school, and decided to shoot into a crowd of students. This happened this past Tuesday, the 15th, April 15th. Ain't not a peep on the news. Meanwhile, when I was looking at this, I said, wait a minute. One of the parents in one of the videos that I seen came out and said that she's going to homeschool her children because they can't be dealing with this. And I'm like, well, why would she say something like that? And me, I like to think outside the box, did a little investigation, and that's what popped up. That there was a school shooting in the same school last year by another young black man. Did you hear about it? Because I didn't. Did you hear about this shooting come Tuesday? I didn't. But yet, the news reporter on the first video clip I showed you came out and said that the school shooting in FSU was the first mass shooting of the year during Trump's administration. But there was one Tuesday. Not trying to throw any of this on Trump, but the kid that did the shooting this past Tuesday in the same high school in Dallas, that was a mass shooting. He sent people to the hospital. One of them's in critical condition. But leave it up to the race-baiting media to go and already start putting that on Channel 9, on CBS, The 2 news clips I showed you are small news stations, local news stations. Why isn't anybody talking about that? Why, if the gun lobbyists, because you know they're going to come after this shooter and his mother that did the shooter at FSU and his mother, when it comes to gun control, we already know this. Hands down, it's going to happen. Give it a day or two, it's going to happen. But why wouldn't they talk about gun control with the school shooting in Dallas 2 days ago? Because it doesn't fit their narrative? Because that's what it seems like right now from what I'm seeing today. Right away. As soon as you come up on the YouTube feed, this story is already popping up. Not the one that happened in Dallas 2 days ago. No, the one that just happened at FSU in Florida. That one's already popping up on the YouTube feeds. Not this one. Never mind the one from last year. But not this one that's popping up with what the boy did on Tuesday. Went into the same school. Okay. Got a ride to the school. Basically, it was premeditated. Crickets. Why? As a matter of fact, let me just show you real quick on how they're going to word this. This is an article. Let me see, which one is it? Okay, bear with me. This is the article that's coming out from USA Today. Suspected Florida shooter is son of local deputy used her gun. What to know? It says right here. This came out an hour ago. It's a 3-minute read. This is for what just happened at LSU. The one for the kid, the student who shot 4 at a Dallas high school. He was targeting specific students. They only got a 2-minute read put up by the Associated Press. Both left-leaning news media. And I know some people will say, oh, it's just a 1-minute difference. Do you not see how already they are going to spin this? That's why I said in my title that the media are a bunch of race baiting. I mean, it's aggravating. Because there was victims today, there was victims Tuesday, there was victims last year. But you're going to have one news outlet, okay, one news anchor come out and say that this is the first school mass shooting of the Trump administration, but we just had one a couple of days ago. Believe me, one is too many. Never mind 2. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. It's incredible the way the media wants to spin. They're going to, I know everybody's saying, well, they haven't done it yet. It's not that they haven't done it yet. It's already started. Once it's already up on YouTube and mainstream media, you already know where this story of the shooting at FSU, you already know where it's going to go. As soon as that man came out and said the first mass school shooting, and yet there was already one, you already know they already started the lies. They're starting the division, the race baiting. It's already started. Because how in the world does a school shooting in Dallas, okay, they got video. They have proof that the kid was helped into the school. He walked in the hallway and just started opening fire on students. Point blank range. How in the world does that not get covered on the mainstream? How is that not on everybody's YouTube feed? But all of a sudden, this kid at FSU, it's already popping up on the main YouTube feed. And it's going to keep popping up on all social media, and it's going to show up more on mainstream media. But this is how the mainstream media and the powers that be and the leftists, they want to control the narrative. let me tell you something. With everything that's been going on, never mind the protest and all this other garbage that's going on. Okay, never mind that. Never mind that Democrat official that tried to go to El Salvador to bring back that guy that was deported, who is supposedly known to be an MS-13 gang member from El Salvador, whatever the case is. Never mind all that. They're going to run rampant on this to take away, in my opinion, number one, to set the narrative. We already know this. Okay, we all know what the narrative is. And number two, in my opinion, to take away what happened with the school stabbing with the two students, because they come to find out now that kid and his family have already collected over $500,000. They're living in a almost $1 million home that they're renting out. They bought a brand new $150,000 car. They started some sort of campaign funding website to buy T-shirts. Meanwhile, the boy pulled out a knife and stabbed another boy in the chest and killed him. So now they're getting scrutiny. So now this is going to be the new best thing. Let's throw this up. Let's show that it's white systemic racism. And not that they're calling it racism, because we really don't know what happened in Florida. In my opinion, it doesn't matter what happened. Nobody should go out there and do anything like this. But I'm upset because I'm looking at this like, not another one, but yet, it's not the first one. There was another one 2 days ago. But it doesn't fit the mainstream media's narrative, because one student was black and this student is white. And it's funny how they give out so much detail about the student and his mom and all the, everything that has to go with it for them to get the narrative across. And yet, all you see is a video clip that I showed you that was like 1:13. And yet, why don't you talk about how the student got into the school? Are you going to question the parents on how that boy got the gun? Is anybody going to be questioned on how he lied to get a lift as a hitchhiker to get dropped off at the school? Some other kid opened up the door for him. Sound familiar? Almost sounds like what happened in the same school a year earlier. And like I said, anybody that knows my content, I'm no racist. Not at all. But I'm calling out this hypocrisy now, because they are going to go apeshit with this story at LSU. I guarantee you. And they're not going to talk once. Maybe they'll say it in passing, but they will not once put as much emphasis on what happened 2 days ago in Dallas, in the same high school, by another black student, another mass shooting. They're not going to talk about that. They're going to focus on this. I guarantee you. They're going to focus on it. And it's sad. It's sad because there's a lot of students out there that now they're thinking, and it's not anymore just white, like everybody wants to hope that it is. We have a problem. We have a problem in the schools where young men feel that it's necessary to go out there and inflict pain and commit murder or try to commit murder on others. Why? Over disputes? And yet they have all these programs, as you heard, that the mother's in charge of one thing from the school in FSU. I don't know if they mentioned it. I forgot. But in the one in Dallas a couple of days ago, supposedly the kid was helped out by another program or members of a program that's supposed to be basically stopping things like this. Where is the breakdown, people? Is it at home? Is it in the school? Is it in these programs? Or is it in these kids' minds, because there is so much chaos going on being perpetrated, in my opinion, by the left, that is just making these young men, and there's a few females out there, but I'm not going to get into that, but it's making these young men go out there and act out in anger. This is no more the how can I say? Let me rephrase that. We're not going to go down that trail again, making it seem as if, you know what, only white kids are capable of doing this, or Latino kids, or whatever the case is. No, we have a problem with young men in this country. But the mainstream media is not going to touch on that. They're not going to talk about that. As soon as that reporter came out and said the first mass school shooting in, right now at Trump's administration, he said everything we needed to hear. That right there already started the fear-mongering. It already put in play their agenda. Unbelievable. Totally unbelievable. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. Also, I want to thank everybody who's sending me messages that are praying for me and wishing me good health. If none of you's heard, I was in a car accident Monday. Went and seen the doctor first time today, therapist. It seems like I got to go back. So my videos, I'm going to try to make not too long. It hurts when I stay sitting for too long, but only time will tell, little by little. So remember, people, stay vigilant. Keep praying for each other. Keep praying for the women and the children. Pray for this country. Pray for your family. Pray for your enemies, okay? And don't forget to pray for all the missing children that they brought across the border. Peace.